So are you training hard and just can't work out why you're not improving? Well, I'm going to tell you why and how you can fix it. The reason you're probably not improving is because you're training in your grey zone. So what is the grey zone? Well, on your watch it would be zone 3, but if you was running around, it's that pace that we all love to run at. It's comfortable, it's enjoyable, it's not your easy pace, it's not your threshold pace, it's that one bang in the middle where you go for a run and you could just kind of let your hair down with it, not having to put loads of effort, but you are putting a little bit of effort and you feel like you're running really well, but then the next day obviously you're a bit tired. So as I said, that's zone 3. And the problem with zone 3 is that there's no benefits in running in zone 3. You know, you may have come back and your watch has said you've been unproductive, and that's because you've been in that zone. And the reason that zone isn't any good for training is because when we run, we use energy. And we've got 2 energy sources. We've got fat and we've got carbs. And so if you look at one end of the scale, if you run on your easy runs, then your body uses fat. If you're doing tempo runs or intervals, then you're using your carbs. But when you're training in zone 3, you're bang in the middle. So you're basically teaching your body to use 50% of your carbs and 50% of your fat. So you're not actually becoming very efficient. You might, when you start running, training that zone, you might see improvements for a short period of time, and then you're just going to plateau. You're not going to improve. You're going to be fatigued. It's going to be a kind of knock-on effect. You're going to be demotivated and potentially going to injure yourself because you're training too hard. So what kind of zone should you be training in? And I guarantee that if you was to do this within 4 weeks, you will see improvements, and within 12 weeks you'll see major improvements. So the zones you want to be training in, it's the same as that saying, easy runs easy, hard runs hard. In that saying, it doesn't say training your grey zone in the middle. So let's jump into the zones you should be training in, and I'm also going to put together just a brief plan for you so you can do it yourself. All right, so zone 2, this is the most important zone for you runners, and this is the one that you should be training the most for your kind of base building, for aiding recovery, to help build your aerobic kind of capacity, and also teach your body to use the most important and the biggest energy source, which is fat. So if you train in this zone, then your body's going to be using the fat source, and that is the most effective source that we've got, and that's going to obviously build, you're about to use that to build endurance, and your body will become more economical. And if you're obviously looking to lose any weight, then that's the zone you want to be training in. As I said before, if you go above that on your watch into the aerobic zone, then the shifts comes over more to 50-50, which is not what you want. Ideally you want to be at predominantly the kind of fat zone, and then you want to kind of sprinkle in a bit of teaching your body how to actually dealing with lactic acid and stuff like that. And that's where the other zone comes in, which we're going to get into, which is zone 4 and 5. Right, so zone 4 and 5, they are for threshold runs, they are for intervals. And running in these zones is going to teach your body, one, how to deal with the lactic acid, what it feels like to run faster. You're going to gain speed, but most importantly, you're teaching your body how to use the other energy source, which is carbs. So if you imagine carbs is like if you have nitrous in your car, you turn it on, makes it go quick, but obviously runs out quick, and that's pretty much like carbs. That's why you want your body to be more efficient at taking the fats than you do with the carbs, because carbs, as I say, short-lived, and that's something that a sprinter will train to use, because a sprinter will want to use the carbs because it's explosive energy rather than the fats, which is more for endurance. But us, as you know, 5k, 10k and upwards, we want obviously a bit of both, but we want it to be heavily stacked towards using the fats, which is why we do majority of our runs in that kind of zone 2. So what I've done is I've put together a training plan to kind of show you what your week should look like, and I've also put in there that if you decide to do park run, what your week should look like as well. So I've got some notes just because it makes it easier to go through the given days. So you've got kind of choice of what type of plan to go for. On a Monday, I would go for a kind of short, easy run, running in zone 2. So that's just going to be a nice, easy day. Then on a Tuesday, we're going to do a tempo run. So we'll be in the tempo zone, which is zone 4, and we're going to do anything from half hour to an hour. Then on the Wednesday, that's going to be another easy day. So a kind of short run. Obviously, it depends on your fitness to how short that is. And then on Thursday will be an interval session. For me, that will be going to the track and doing intervals like 5k based intervals, whether it's 1k repeats, 1 mile repeats, 1200, 400 repeats, or you could be doing hill runs. But it's important that we do the VO2 max stuff as well. So we're integrating the threshold zone 4, and we're integrating obviously zone 5 as well. But it's important that after you do these hard sessions that you do an easy run afterwards, like a recovery run, or you take a day off. So on the Friday, that's going to be a nice short easy run again. Then on Saturday, I like to do my long run, and I believe that you're going to get more out of running an hour and a half run than you would of doing a run that's probably an hour or an hour and 15. So depending on your fitness, ideally you want to be running, let's say, between an hour and a half and 2 hours, just at an easy pace. So you're not kind of fatiguing your body, and then the Sunday off. Mileage wise, that all depends on you, on your fitness. If, say for instance, you like doing park run, you can class your park run as, say, a threshold run. So the way you would obviously do that is you'd have to shift your long run. So your long run would be on a Monday, then you're going to take a day off on the Tuesday. The Wednesday would just be an easy short run, preparing yourself for the Thursday where you're going to be doing the intervals. So 1k repeats, 1 mile repeats, hill work, etc. Then you're going to be taking the Friday as an easy day, and then you're going to be doing the park run on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, you'll be doing just an easy run. So a similar sort of week, but basically your week needs to consist of a threshold run, a interval or hill work run to get you into your VO2 max, and 1 long run. And then the rest of the runs are just easy runs in your zone 2. I don't know if you've tried this before, but I'd like your feedback. Just let me know what you think, because I've recently been kind of getting into that zone 3 where I've been going on the runs, and I haven't found running in zone 2 enjoyable in the past, and so it's very easy to kind of get yourself into that zone 3. And I've got to be racing in December. I've got a race in January, a half marathon. I signed up through the Farnham half marathon as well. So I need to be, in tip-top shape, and the only way to do that is to be disciplined. And yes, holding brackets not fun, but just get yourself some decent music, headphones, slow tunes, and I guarantee that after a while you will get used to running slower, because I did, and it just kind of, you just adapt your style over time. You could, if you haven't got a heart rate monitor, just run it at a conversational pace, because you do know when you're going into, I was out today, and as soon as it's going over 135 beats a minute, I could just tell, just the way my breathing was. So it's very easy to kind of correct it. But if you want to do it right, then you're going to have to use a heart rate monitor. The only problem with the heart rate monitors is you need to work out where your maximum is, because they're preset. You put your age in and it's all kind of preset, so they could be way out. The best way I like to do that is to do a 3-minute run as hard as you can, then have 3 minutes rest, and then a 3-minute run as hard as you can. I guarantee in that time, if you're putting in the effort you're supposed to, your heart rate will spike, and that will give you your maximum heart rate, which you can adjust in your watch that will do all your zones correctly. On some watches they adjust automatically. So if you stick to this and you've got the discipline to do it, you will see improvements in 4 weeks, and you'll see major improvements within 12 weeks. So it's a perfect time of the year to be doing it. It's getting darker, wetter, slipperier, so the easy runs kind of make sense really, rather than kind of trying to hoon it around everywhere. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to try it, and as per always, I will speak to you soon. Cheers, onwards and upwards.